Okay, here we go. She-Ra, full model part 1. Just going to start with a cube. I'm going to move the cube up. So my drawings are a little off, and I'm going to try and stick to the front view for the most part. Okay. So I'm going to scale it up, scale it out. Then I'm going to insert some edge loops. Gonna go in the middle, right about there, and there. Now I can basically just go into vertex mode. Rotate these a bit. Rotate these and kind of place them. And I'm going to move those up to about there. Then over in the front view, I'm going to do the same thing. Just want to bring that to about the bottom of the neck. I'm going to adjust my side view photo and bring that down. Wait a second. I want to, hold on. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna move it up there. Move these here, and move that there. Move this back. Move this up there, and this guy right there. Okay. So what I want to do next is I need to make this a little more rounded. So I'm going to bring these in. I'm going to bring these out. It's always a good idea to check your perspective view just to make sure everything is looking okay. Bring those down just a little. Okay, bring this kind of out. The next thing I want to do is insert a loop about here, roughly. And I'm going to kind of ignore the left side now. I'm only really going to work on the right. So now that I've brought that piece in, I can go in and select all of these, bring them back and in. So now it's a little more rounded than this side. Might bring that one out and a little forward. Want to kind of bring this one up, forward, and then this guy, I'm going to kind of split that difference. Okay, and just making sure that your vertices are still lining up to where they need to be in each view. So let's pop over to the right view. All right, that's still checking out. I can probably bring this one back to about there, and this one back to about there, to really make that nice and rounded. And then I can bring this guy over that way. Yeah, maybe that one a little over there. Okay, cool. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select these bottom faces. Just going to press Q to turn the gizmo off, and I'm going to extrude. I just want to bring this down here, flatten it, scale it, move it back. Kind of want to get it to about the area that I want, and then I want to extrude again. Something about there, that's where the legs will start to come out of. So if we go into the front view, we can see that. So keeping up with the front and side view, always want to make sure that you're moving your vertices somewhat close to when you extrude or do anything like that. So if we smooth preview, this is what we're getting. You want to stay in low poly for basically as long as possible. Okay, so now we're ready to do the leg. So essentially, these two right here is going to make the leg. The only thing I need from this is to take the multi-cut and cut across. Then I'm going to take these faces, these four that I just made. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to pull it down just like a slight bit. And then if you pop over into your bottom view, this is where you want to form your shape of the leg. So you want to make it something nice and round. Something like that. I want to bring that like really forward. And obviously we'll adjust this as needed. This is like really high. Bring that down. It's just something that's a little rounded. If you want, you can, flatten certain vertices just to make sure that they're looking right. And bring that in just a little bit. Then you can pop back over into the face mode and extrude. So I'm going to go down to about where the shorts are, and then this is also where I'm noticing there's a pretty big difference. So let's pop over to the perspective. Keep that one in the front. This into perspective. Okay, so I want to take essentially this line right here and expand it out. I'm going to take this, scale that up, and I need to adjust some of these other vertices. Okay, so there's one back in here that's kind of hidden. Pull that out. Maybe pull that in. We can kind of pull this line up, and then we kind of want this to actually like go upward. So we've got our edge going this way, and then we kind of want to start to go that way a little bit. Because this is where like the hips are, and it'll be helpful for the edge flow to go that way. Just want to bring those up just a little bit. This one actually goes up a lot. And you can do the same on the front. Yeah. Okay. So now we've got this. We can start to see a little bit of curvature here. That's good. Let's continue with the extrusion. So I'm going to select those. I'm going to extrude down to about where the knee is. I'm going to scale it in, move it over. I can do Control E to extrude again. I'm going to go to just above the boot. And then I want to basically come down here. So my character's boots have a certain topology that we're going to have to follow. And it'll be important to follow that. So we can either follow it now, or we can make the basic shape and then go back in and fix it. So I'm going to make the basic shape and then go in and fix it. But before we move on, let's check to make sure the right view is still looking good. Okay, so I want to bring those, kind of scale them out, bring them forward, bring these backward, scale it down. I want to take this line, scale it up, and then I want to rotate. I want to get that angle right there. Then I want to come in here, kind of move that up, move this forward. Okay, so back into perspective. I'm going to change the face, extrude, and I'm going to come down to about where the ankle is, which is about there. Scale it in, move it over, and let's check the right view. Alright. Kind of need to make it a little bigger. Something about there. Then we're going to build the bottom part. So, oh, I realize my shoes are off. So I'm gonna hide my side view. I actually have another piece in here that's like just for the boots. Need to bring that out. Okay. Although this does need to scale up a little. Something like that. Okay. Back to She-Ra. Alright, so I still have those faces selected. I'm going to extrude, pull it down. I want to rotate this 45 degrees and then pull it forward. So this is a good case where you want to build it out first. I'm going to extrude again. I'm going to come all the way to the front. I'm going to flatten. I'm going to scale it down just this way, move it down, and pull it back. So you want to build this first, and then come back in and fix some of the areas. So if I do mesh tools, insert edge loop, I'm going to throw one right here because I want to make that calf bigger. Just want to select this loop, make that bigger, pull it back. So this is a little off from what it was earlier, so maybe I'll just keep that forward. And now time to fix this area. So the basic thing that we want is we want like a loop here, and then we want like a round loop, forward loop, and then you have like this angled Y that goes here. So we can kind of just take these, pull them back, just to like make sure that we're getting this shape. You can even flatten them, pull it. I'm gonna snap these to the bottom of the grid so that we can get everything good. And actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to pull this down because I'm going to do the soul a little differently. Alright, so going over into the front view, just kind of need to make sure that these are in the spot that it needs to be. Yep, right about there. Okay. So I want to look at the perspective of this character. I want to add an edge loop right here. I don't like the way that that's going because it's following this line. So I'm going to take the multi-cut and I'm going to cut right here. So I need to change some of the like topology. Make those the outliner. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go up and around. Then I want to go down and connect it right there. Then I want to take this guy and go this way. Whoops. Right there. Okay. I'm going to go into edge mode. I'm going to delete those two edges. That one and... which one did I do? Okay. Oh no. Vertex. Just want to pull this forward, you know, get this shape looking good. Same on this side, pull that forward. Pull that right about there. Don't forget that you want to try and keep these as straight as possible. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it helps to just kind of look around your character. Just want to go to the front view. Kind of looks a little off. So I'll just select all of these and move them over. Okay, that looks a little better. It's gonna look off from my drawing, but in perspective it looks more right. And that's kind of what I want to follow. So anytime that the drawing just isn't working for me. I need to compensate by moving it around. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this guy up, this guy up. So we've got this nice face edge flow. So right about here, I want to come forward. So I make that line. I make this line. And then I also make this line. This allows for the ankle to bend. So this is kind of like a three-pointed thing, so that needs to come down. Right now, a lot of my vertices are not like in the place that they need to be, so just need to move them in, kind of do whatever I need to do to get them to look right. Pull that up. It's probably going to be like a slight curvature because it's the left foot. So this is coming down, this is coming not really down. So I'm going to select all of these, flatten them, move them over. And I want to bring that one over. So this is a pole right here, so it has 5 sides. So this vertex is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. Yeah, I guess I can kind of take care of this. What did I do? Mode. Vertex. I'm just going to merge those. I'll merge these. Yeah, so we've got a triangle here, and that's okay for now. Something else that you can do is go over into the right view and kind of like look to actually get these in line. So I want to flatten those, just to make sure that this is very symmetrical, unless it doesn't need to be. Okay, so with this right side, I want to take this, like I want to look at these edges, and I want to kind of move, ooh, hello. I want to make sure that I'm selecting both. I want to move them so that it actually like flows with this character's boot. So that'll be the where it goes off. So these need to come down, and then all of these need to essentially get squished. Pull them back just a smidgen. Maybe pull this one up. Is that the center? Yeah, that's the center. I can take this and this, pull those up, pull them back. Pull those in. Alright, so right now, so I've got something of a foot. I've got an issue here that I know I need to come back and fix. But right now, this is kind of where I need to leave it until I start putting in more details. Because the topology of the boot is going to change. It might even change like where I have some of these placed. So I'm just going to kind of leave that. Let's go into the front view. Select faces. I'm going to select the middle, delete those, pop over into perspective, make sure that I'm selecting this entire middle loop. Okay, come over to the front, make sure that it's flat. Ooh, which it wasn't. So then I'm going to snap it to the grid. Alright, I'm going to do object mode, mesh, mirror. And now I have a character with some legs. Let me save this. Version 7. Okay. Now it's time for the arms. Basically, I want to get the overall character boxed in, and then from there we can go to putting in the details. So, up here is where I want to add the arm. I don't want to use the boots image. I want to use the side view. Okay, so even in this drawing, it's off. But if you look in the front view, this is about where the arm should go. So if I take a edge loop, I throw that right about there, then I can flatten it, move it back, whoa, hello, move it back a little, change this to perspective. Okay, so right here is where I want to bring the arm out of. So I'm going to select all 4 of those faces, and I'm going to extrude them in. The first thing that I'm going to do is flatten it, scale it in, and I want to place it about where it needs to go. So it's about there. Then I want to, in the right view, form this so that, very similar to the legs, that this becomes a spherical shape. Make sure that that's in the middle of where the arm is. Alright. Now I'm going to go back into face mode with those selected. I can now extrude. I can pull it forward, scale it up, extrude, pull it forward, scale it down. And essentially I'm going to do this until the hand area. I extrude right to about where the elbow is. In the top view, you're probably going to want to move it back. For now, I'm just going to leave it and extrude. Scale it down right to about there. So my character has a like a wrist gauntlet brace thing. So my topology is going to be a little trickier here. There's a reason for it that we'll get into a little bit later. Okay. So when I previously made this, I realized how poor my drawing was on this. So I want to extrude, pull it forward, and then flatten it. And then pull it up. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull this to about where the knuckles are. And that's where I really want to make it flat. We can always come back in and adjust it later, but this is the tricky part now. We're going to skip the thumb for now. So I'm going to take the multi-cut. I need to be able to pull out 4 fingers. So I have to come up and break this into 4 sections. And instead of, taking this entire edge all the way through, I want to just connect them right here. And do the same on the bottom. Okay, now comes the tricky part. So, need to extrude each part, just pull it down. Extrude, pull it down. I'm going to select all of these now, and I'm going to pull them forward. So now I need to split these all again. So if I go up here, I'm going to connect these down here because I want these to be similar to cylinders. Okay, so then I need to do that again to the bottom. Ooh, hello. Very close. We're creating lots of triangles, that's okay. We will have to fix those later. Okay, so now you want to come in and adjust all of these. I'm going to do this all together just to make it easier for myself. I'm going to flatten. Ooh, hello. I skipped 2. So flatten, bring them down to about there. Let's do the same over here. Flatten, bring it up. Essentially, you can just make this like a box. Very tedious, this part. Bring him over. It's always important to move your vertices after placing them. Okay, so this is the pinky. So I can actually make this like much smaller. And I actually want to move this all the way over. Kind of move that there. Move it up. And move this line over as well. Move that line over. Want to make sure that everything is kind of staying where it needs to be. It's super important to move and get all of these in place before you start extruding again. Alright, so that kind of goes there. This line right there. Hands are probably my least favorite thing to model. Okay. Going to select all of these. Pop back over into the front view. Extrude. There is definitely a reason why I'm pulling these out just straight. Let me just like scale them up a little. I want to make sure that they're good size there. Pull them forward to about the second line. Extrude again to about there. Pull them up. Extrude, pull them forward. Scale them down. I can come in here and I can just select these vertices. Come on. There we go. I just kind of pull those back up. Okay, those are very thin. Quite thin. They look a little creepy. But that's okay. I mean, I have the hand. Let me go into the top view. So the hand is going to be something like that. Is my mouse dying on me? There we go. And then we need to pull the thumb out. So we're going to add a line here. I'm going to multi-cut that. Then I'm going to select these four faces. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to flatten it. back. Kind of something like that. I'll extrude again. Essentially, I'm going to rotate it, flatten it, and then pull it out, something like that. And then one more time. And I should have moved the vertices where I wanted them before, but this is okay for now. Move those forward, move those in, move those that way. Okay, so now we've got, really need to change the battery in my mouse, I guess. Okay. So we've got that. Let's bring the head forward, or head out. So I'm going to extrude this, I'm going to pull it up, I'm going to flatten it, I'm going to rotate it, move it forward just a little, I'm going to extrude again, I'm going to scale it out, extrude again, pull it up, flatten it, move it down, check with the front view. Wow, that's quite big. So I'll select the vertices, I'll move those in, I'll select this bottom one, move those in, why does it keep deselecting? I want to bring that to about the top of the neck. Let's select this loop. Scale that in. Pull it up. Go into face mode. Select this entire half. Don't forget that when you go to mirror your mesh, that you're selecting your entire middle line. You flatten it, snap it to the grid. Whoops. Object mode, mesh, mirror. Okay, so we now have the proxy model for our character, and we will continue in the next part. Okay, cool.